This filter will enable you to have nice, clean, crisp vodka for your homebrew, which you can then either drink straight or add flavouring to. So watch this video to work out how you can make your very own version. This is the stuff that you'll need to make your filter. This is a 375 by 25mm long tubing, and both ends have thread. It's completely hollow. These are 25 or 20mm threaded taps that adjust to a 13mm irrigation pipe tube type there. This is a 13mm inline barb tap. It's got two barbs on each end, and it's a tap hollow through. You turn that and you can turn the valve on and off. This is important to control your flow rate. Some plumber's tape, this is optional, but it will give you a bit better sealing. Two of these metal clips, these are also optional depending on your tubing. 13mm tubing. I chose clear because then that way I can see through it and see the alcohol going through the tubes. This is food contact, so this is food grade. You'll need some coffee filters. Quantity wise, you'll only need a little portion of it, so you'll just be cutting it up. You also need some activated carbon. I didn't have any, and I couldn't source any today. The pet shop had some, but it was quite pricey. I've just opted, just for this demonstration, to cut open this water filter here. This is just a cheap one. I bought a 3-pack of these for $19 from Kmart. So I'll just be pulling apart this just to demonstrate what the active carbon would be doing when it's in here to show you. This is just a 15mm threaded with a 13mm barb tap on it. So that way I could plug the pipe into that and then attach this into whatever feeds the alcohol into the filter. You have a pipe that runs from this end here into the top of the filter. It's going to have this threaded part into here. The alcohol will then flow through this tube, which will be filled up with activated carbon. And then down the bottom, piece of coffee filter, just to stop the activated carbon falling out of the tubing. Clear pipe so you can see the colour of the fluid coming through. Attaches to the flow control, and then from there into your bucket or container. So we'll just remove this extra adapter thread, so that way it will fit directly onto here. You'll see a rubber ring in there, and also this part here can spin freely. So what we're going to do is pull up that rubber ring like so. Right, so we're just going to cut this filter out to be roughly the same size as that rubber ring that was in here. And the reason I've made it that size is so that when I put it back in like so, it's not going to be sticking up in the thread here and touching this part of the rubber, which can cause sealing issues. It's on tight, so that's the bottom. Now if you had a jug for one of these, you could use that for your filter, such as one of these Brita jugs. This Brita jug though doesn't fit these generic homemaker brand type of filters. They're just the wrong, they're similar size and everything, but they just don't clip all the way down in. There's black ones and white ones. I'm assuming that the black ones are carbon. Not sure what the white ones are. If any of you guys know, just let us know in the comments. So there's half a cup of that in there. So now I'm going to put half a cup in here. Just using a funnel. Just going to pour that in. So you can't really see, but it comes up to about here. It's a perfect amount, so half a cup of anything is perfect for this size pipe. That's the height of it there. Which comes to that part where my thumb is. Now, because it's a filter, you can only really use one way. You don't have to put any filter paper in the top end. So that's the filter part done. So the distance between these two, I want about 1.5 centimeters. That way I've got a clear viewing window. So I'm just going to cut this tube about here. I'm going to try it without these clips, but if it does need them because it leaks or anything, then I can put them on. My plan is to use this large 3-litre bottle as the funnel. I'm going to create a hole to screw this end in. Just mark the circle with a pen. If you've got a drill, obviously it would be the best option, but I'm just going to use this pair of scissors. So now to tighten the rest of it up. I'm squeezing it pretty hard and there's some minor drops coming in. So to fix that, I'm going to put some hot glue on the inside of this lid. Just around in here so that way it seals it up nice. Stops any of that fine bit of water coming out. So I should have done this at the start. Remove that. Well, like we have it, I can't find my hot glue gun. I've left it somewhere. I do have super glue, so I'm going to apply that to the outside. Originally when I was coming up with the idea of putting this valve in somewhere, I was going to put it in the bottom here, but I soon realised without a way to attach this on the inside, I'd probably be left with something that's screwed into this thin plastic which will just pour out everywhere. So I opted to use the lid because of the firmer, thicker plastic, which will be able to give me a better seal. I'm just using some tape and some scissors just to create an arrow on this so I know which way the direction flow is. You don't need 5 meters of this clear tubing, but that's the smallest length that would come in. Cut off some more to put on the end where the valve is, so that way you've got a bit of a spout, you can pour it into a container or anything. So I've rigged it up, bottle's up here, gravity will then feed down this tube and then go in the top of the filter. Go in here and it'll hit the half of cup of carbon granules. It'll then be able to flow down through here. It's got a clear window so you can see the colour of it coming through, and a valve here to slow the flow down if it's going too fast. So that's been going now for about 10 minutes and nothing's leaking up here. This is nice and dry. No water drops here or anything coming out. Nothing here, and it's still slowly filtering away. So this is still going, and it's literally just doing 1 drop now every 10 seconds or so. It's coming out clear now. There's no more carbon, charcoal in the output. I'm going to swap it over to vodka. When I squeeze that, it's just causing the fluid to go in and out. So it's probably a better motion, and it's still getting the air come through the filter. Well, I had just too much air in there, so I've actually pulled it all apart now, and I've taken out these paper filters and replaced the bottom part with the wire mesh that was from here. So the reason I pulled it all apart was the flow rate was too low. So I should have rinsed all of this first with water to get rid of all of the dusty carbon look to it. It's got a bit of a greyness to it, but that's just vodka in there. But that's just a learning curve. I'll learn that for next time. So I pulled off the excess vodka that was sitting on top of all of that. Now I'll pour this into the filter and then top it up with the rest of that. Alright, so it's set up now. I poured all the vodka back into it. So the trick is to make sure that when you put your filtering material in there, that it's wet. So because it was dry, the vodka wasn't going through it, and it was just creating air bubbles and not going through. And the coffee filters that I put in, I think we're doing too much of a good job, because the flow rate was ridiculously slow, to the point where no drops would come out until 10 minutes, and then one drop would come out. So now I replaced the bottom with the mesh, and made sure all of the filtration material was wet before putting it back into the the filter. With this all the way open, this will just literally just pour straight through, but all the filtration material will stay in there because it's got the mesh. So I've adjusted this so that it's just getting a tiny drip every few seconds, will come down to here. There's just a drip then, and it comes down into the bottom and very slowly drips out into the container. So it was a bit fiddly to get this exactly right, where it was, if you turn it too far it would pour through, and turn it not enough, nothing would happen. So it was very fiddly, but I got that in the end. It's coming through here, it's nice and clear, so I think we'll be right. We'll get something at the end. It smells a lot cleaner. It's a little bit like a metho sort of smell, which is what you'd expect because it is vodka, but there's no off smell to it, so the filter's working good. During this video I've shown you how to build your own inline filter system so that you can filter your own vodka or neutral spirits. You can get all of these parts from Bunnings or your local hardware store, as long as they stock irrigation stuff. So this is all in the irrigation aisle. The carbon filtering for this you can probably get from a pet store or a homebrew shop. And just make sure you get activated carbon. The bottle at the top, you could use anything. You could even use a funnel connected to this for convenience. And once the carbon has been used up and is no longer effectively filtering, you can just unscrew this, flush it out down the sink or in the rubbish, and replace it with new activated carbon. Make sure that you activate the carbon first in hot water before pouring it into here. Thanks for watching. Please like, rate, comment if you got something out of this, and see you guys next time.